This is not tampered with. This is not CGI. This is real. I was so excited.
When we're done, I've got one more ghost story. I'll tell outside of this because we need to get back on topic.
I just now realized that the AC's on. I can hear the hum, and I forgot to turn the AC off for this episode. So hopefully, it's not too bad.
Before
I
we
didn't notice it.
leave the topic matter, because we could just call this D23
It's going to be called Disney is Haunted because we're talking Disney and we're talking haunts. Disney is haunted.
You guys brought up something that I forgot about.
He's like, I didn't get to tell a ghost story, guys.
Well, hurry up, TJ. We got to get on topic.
Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Ryan. How is everybody doing tonight? I'm here with Sarah, TJ, and our wonderful special guest, live in person, Mr. Bill Conklin.
Hello.
And this is his third time on the podcast. We've had him twice.
Via
over
phone.
Audio, via phone, but we got him live on set today.
Little did we know at the time we could have
Make sure I'm alive.
put him on, video.
That's right. So tonight's episode, we're going to talk the Disney EXPO that just happened this last weekend, D23, and they announced all their fun Disney movies and all that great stuff.
Well, it did happen. You got to remind them this is
Might need the audio a little closer to you, buddy.
this is like 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Got to remember that. So
I don't know. Maybe I might decide to just drop this one before the last one.
whatever you
Or
want
that
to do.
too. So this will be episode 17 or 18.
Yep.
So thanks for joining us tonight where we keep it live or real about life and film. You guys, thank you so much. So tonight, D23, guys, announcements.
Yep.
What announcements did we talk about? Because I have a whole list right here.
I am really excited for the Lilo and Stitch live action.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be super cute.
Did you know about
There's
that?
been a Lilo and Stitch live action?
Yeah,
Yes.
CGI live action.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Didn't
it
I hear
looks
we're also
good.
getting The Rock played Maui in it.
Moana
the live
2.
action.
Yeah.
We're getting Moana 2 and a live action Moana, which is
but
kind of strange
been announced.
that they're doing
the
something
live
so
action was
new.
already announced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that it's just crazy that they're doing that because that's what Disney's doing now. Everything's becoming live action. We've gotten Lion King, Snow White's a new one that's getting ready to come out.
Mufasa.
Yeah.
Mufasa.
So supposedly it's
I have
A
mixed
prequel.
feelings about Mufasa. I really do.
Oh, but the trailer looks excellent. It just looks beautiful to look
I mean,
at.
it does. It really does.
It looks beautiful.
I can't deny that. It does look beautiful, but it is still kind of like on the fence. Like, I don't know. Do we touch Mufasa's story? But it's gonna be cool to know more about him, I guess.
well
He's
supposedly
the king.
supposedly in the trailer you find out that he wasn't supposed to be king originally, and he's what?
I'm just saying.
And he like stole the crown basically.
Oh.
Well, that's how
No.
lion packs work. They, men will leave the pack because they're forced out by the alpha. They have to go create their own packs. That's probably what happened.
I hope they don't do that. Give him a bad backstory. He needs to always have his true heart. He's always had.
They're trying to Miyagi him.
Oh my gosh, Miyagi.
But now, see, while you're all excited for that, I'm excited for Incredibles 3.
Yes, that was announced. Did you know about that one, Bill?
No, and I
Honestly.
love Incredibles because I was Mr. Incredibles.
He is Mr. Incredible.
I had the outfit for Mr. Incredible, and I
Yeah,
did this at a thing in
he looks great in
theater
it
in the
too.
park over at Lafayette Square.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've never
that's
seen
cool.
I
pictures
worked
of
with
him.
all the kids, and I loved it.
He just blends into his characters because he becomes Mr. Incredible. He's done Beetlejuice. He's done a bunch of things. And he
Roses are
he
red.
blends right on in.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Honey, where's my super suit?
I actually, Zootopia 2 is
That-
something that I'm
yeah.
even more excited
I
about.
love Zootopia.
Love
They
Zootopia.
announced Zootopia 2,
I cannot
which has
wait
got a
to see
November
what they do with it.
2025 release date.
Funniest thing I laughed was that the sloth is, I'm going to get this, and the rabbit's like, come on,
Right? Yeah.
We're in a hurry.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Have
And that
you
one guy
seen-
comes over and he's like, "Hey, oh hey." He's like, "Hey, have you heard that one joke?" No. And then they just start telling the joke, and she's like,
Have you seen the shorts on Disney Plus for Zootopia?
No.
They have these little
What?
shorts on Disney Plus,
Yeah, I
and
know
they are
that.
so cute.
They're-
But they have one full
they're about 2 or
episode of
3
the
minutes.
sloths. You'll love it.
I have to check
You
it out.
have to check it out. It's so cute.
I know Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know it's not Disney, but that a new series just dropped on Paramount
Yeah,
Plus, and I
yeah.
completely forgot about it. It was actually such a nice day out when it dropped, that was when me and Dutch went outside and we played on the trampoline. I was like, I told him the day before because it was like, hot, so we stayed inside. And I was like, tomorrow Turtles comes out, we'll stay inside and watch it. And I was like, freaking weather's nice, we're gonna go jump.
He's been outside the last couple of days. It's been nice.
I'm envious of that.
Yeah, poor TJ for anybody. He's been in the hospital this past week.
We weren't sure we were going to get to film today.
He literally
I
came
got to
out.
see something probably nowhere else ever will.
What's
the
that?
inside of his foot.
Oh, did you see it?
And I never want to see it
The
again.
podiatrist showed us like full-blown pictures and everything, and
The doctor showed me a picture where they had him cut open.
Whoa.
And these crystals, and the doctor's like, you see these crystals here? And now multiply that by 100, and that's what poured out of there as soon as I cut. And it's like, I start
So
getting all
basically,
like,
they had no choice but to remove it.
Jeez, dude.
yeah. So it's been
That
a
was
rough
gnarly.
week.
I bet.
So I'm glad you didn't send that picture over to Sarah because he sent us in a group chat. He's like, "You guys want to see something gross?" Sarah's like, "No, if it's your foot, no."
I said,
But
"Do you want to see something cool?" And she goes, "As long as it's not gross."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And
was
she
the
goes,
stitches.
"You lied to me." I'm like, "That's not gross."
Yeah, so the good thing, it sounds like it was
the
a good
one
thing
I
we-
saw was gross.
I was saying, it's a good thing we didn't see inside the foot then, huh?
I will tell you now, you ever send that shit to me, I will end you.
I saw the inside of David's
I don't
toe.
want to see any of that.
I saw the inside of David's toe once.
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
ripped that open back in 2010.
Ugh. All right, let's get back on a good topic.
Yeah, so okay, so we talked Moana. I'm gonna go through the list here, just hit the list real quick so we all have an idea, which some of us do. But so we talk about Moana 2 and Mufasa. Next year, of course, obviously we're gonna have Captain America,
Brave
Brave
New
New
World.
World
Yeah.
in February. Snow White, they dropped a trailer for that. March 21st,
Wait, live
25.
action
Yeah.
Live action with CGI dwarves, which I think, because people complained about like the Sonic thing, how they changed the Sonic design, that people saw that on set they had like standard normal sized people as the dwarves, so people are like, well, this ain't Snow White and the Seven Dwarves then. So I guess they went in and CGI'd them, and now in the trailer they're little dwarves, but they're CGI. Every dwarf.
There's a lot of complaints about that I've been seeing.
Well,
Yeah.
why not? I mean, no, I don't know the correct term, midget, or but why not hire
little people?
Why not hire the little people to do something? There's a lot of people out there that would love the work.
Because then they got to talk to Santa Claus and go through all the contractual bullshit.
But then I also understand whenever you're smaller too, that like you're literally only going to get those roles, so you don't want to only be like a
You don't want to be
dwarf,
typecast.
Yeah.
And I get it, but I mean, who else?
Could you imagine Peter Dinklage as grumpy?
Well,
Heck
that's
yeah.
what I was just about to say. I actually read somewhere that it's because of Peter Dinklage that they wouldn't hire any dwarves for Snow White. Apparently, he made a big deal out of
I'll
it.
believe it.
Well, Peter
who knows?
Dinklage, how do you make a big deal? of it?
I have no idea. I didn't read the full article. I don't know if this is actually true, but that's what I had seen. I saw it.
Maybe because he's done like Game of Thrones and stuff. He's like, little people can play more than just little people. We can play bigger characters too, I guess. I don't know.
He's an angry elf.
Grumpy.
Well, he's actually one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
mine too.
He was. I don't know if you guys have seen it, Penelope.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's
It
so
is good.
cute. It's kind of like a reverse Beauty and the Beast, where the girl is actually the beast, and it's so cute. It is so cute.
I never even heard of it.
I think the last time I checked, it was on for free for YouTube movies.
Okay.
Peter Dinklage is also cast as the in the remake of Toxic Avenger. He's playing the Toxic Avenger. That the independent film that Hollywood is now like, oh, look what they did, and it's got so much popular and culture and stuff behind it. Let's buy the rights and make it our own now. That's how you know
You figure with
Hollywood's run out of
being
ideas.
at Disney, with them CGIing it, they're probably going to try to CGI it to make it look like the dwarfs from the
That's
cartoon,
yeah.
which
They
is
do
also
look more
kind
like
of more
So-
Disney.
So
I mean, you
kind
expect that at
of
Disney.
going
so-
like, kind of doing like Enchanted.
yeah.
I
Probably.
think that was with Amy Adams and I forgot his name. It was half live action.
Oh,
half CG.
Enchanted.
Yeah,
Enchanted. Didn't they do two of those?
something like that.
They
Yeah,
did
I
one,
haven't
but there was
seen
like
the
I
second
think there was
one.
like 10, 15, 20 years apart, and then they came
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, it might be a little too late." But
Yeah.
I'm not sure what this is. This might be a new original, but it's called Elio, ELIO. So that might be a new Disney original,
I
which
think it is. I
they
don't
need to
think
start
I've
putting
seen
out some
much.
new original content like they used to, because everything's and we'll get into that later. You'll hear a couple more sequels that are beloved classics. But and then of course you got Fantastic Four coming out next summer.
I also have
First
mixed
steps.
feelings. It's got a beautiful cast, and I can't wait to see the cast, but I really hope that they don't mess up the story like they have been.
Well, I don't.
The first Fantastic Four, first two, even the Silver
Yeah,
Surfer,
but-
I
yeah.
loved them.
Well, Silver Surfer
I
was
grew up
great.
with Fantastic Four, and so I love the characters.
Yeah.
I love the banter between
Yeah.
Torch and Thing.
They
was
were
excellent.
great.
But then when they came out with that last movie,
oh yeah,
It-
the bad.
Oh my God.
they rushed it out because
They
they
did.
wanted to keep the rights to it, and it was horrible. Even Stan
Yeah.
Lee didn't want to be in it.
That's
Stan Lee would not. Now, when he doesn't want to make a cameo, you know it's bad.
That's exactly what happened with Jason X. The only reason they
Oh
did
my
Jason X
God.
was so they could keep the rights because they were going to lose them. So that's the only reason they rushed Jason
that
X
movie,
out.
That movie was funny as hell. I
It's
don't
one of
care.
them guilty pleasures. It's so
I actually,
bad it's entertaining.
Since Ryan likes to bring up his little things every now and again, I'd also like to point
Well,
out
it
that
ties in.
Stephen King hated The Shining.
Yeah.
So there was,
It was like 3 or 4 times on record on the
I have
podcast.
to. I have to agree. I love the fact the Shine. I love the movie by itself. I do agree with Stephen King that Jack Nicholson is always Jack Nicholson. He was way over the top.
Mm-hmm.
They did
Uh-huh.
not follow the storyline that's in the book, and I read the books. Didn't follow.
Love the
Oh my
books.
gosh, you two
I
could have a
love the book
full-on
too.
conversation on
Loved
this.
it. Have you seen the miniseries
I
with
loved
Steven
it.
Weber?
Because it was exactly what the book that showed all the different. There's more than just one room with the naked lady that's dead. You know,
And see,
there's
It was-
all these houses.
It was
The-
perfect.
and the one thing that people don't talk about with The Shining is it basically sent Shelley Duvall into
I
a
know, rest in
They
peace.
treated her
Middle
terribly.
break.
Yeah, they treated her terribly.
I feel bad for her. She was a perfect olive oil too,
She
though. in
was.
She
Popeye.
was.
She's
She
the only one
was.
that could have done that the way she
Only
did.
one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
No, just how I feel going back to Fantastic Four. I'm not know how I feel about the title itself. It's calling it Fantastic Four First Steps. Like I guess if it's new,
Yeah.
you're bringing in.
So is it a reboot? Is it?
Well, yeah, it's the first time they're in the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a complete
Okay,
reboot.
so it makes
But-
sense.
But what I'm really curious how they're going to tie this in is apparently this is like a 60s period piece. So the Fantastic Four had already existed before Iron Man and
Yeah.
all that, and even Captain Marvel,
Oh,
who
yeah.
came in the 90s. And then it's like, well, where was she? Oh, there's other stuff out in the universe
Yeah.
besides you guys. Like, oh, that's your excuse, lazy writing. You know what I mean?
See, I heard that it was going to be held in like an alternate time world, and then they are altered to our current timeline.
I'm kind of honestly about ready to see the multiverse come to a close.
Yeah.
I
They've
really am.
overdone it, both
They have.
DC and Marvel.
Yeah.
They
I don't know
have.
who copied
I
off
get
of who
it's-
first, but
I get
they've
it's
both done it to
cool,
death.
but now it's getting to the point where it's like, I don't know. After,
Yeah.
I just feel I've told her before, and I'm sure some people other can also agree that after Endgame, well, I think No Way Home came out after Endgame.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
after those two, they should have paused.
Yes.
Let the world have peace for a minute before you went back into all this chaos.
Yeah.
It's used as a cop out now
Well,
just to try to change
it
something.
does. It
It's
does.
just copping out to try to change something and getting away
Yeah.
with it. Well, we did it because it's a multiverse, so we
But-
can do whatever we want.
Exactly.
The one thing that I'm excited for coming out of the multiverse is X-Men versus Avengers.
Yes.
If that happens, but I even told her I
it's
don't
gonna
really want
happen.
to see it because they're super. Why do I get Civil War when that happened with the peace conflict? But like, why do we need to keep having superheroes on superhero fights?
It's
We don't
comic
need
books.
it.
It was a
It's-
comic book
It
series.
was
I get
literally a
it.
comic book
I
series.
get it, but we don't need every literal comic book adaptation brought to the screen.
I'd be okay
We
with
do
that.
not need it.
I just want my X-Men in the Marvel universe.
Yes.
I'm so ready.
Well, you got
Have
your
you seen
Wolverine in
Deadpool?
there. And
Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
And twice.
it's so good.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was
so good.
beautiful. Gambit.
Which she just heard
I didn't know my
that he got his
I
solo
shot out his
movie.
dick.
All the cameos in there, every one of the cameos
Beautiful.
was great.
I lost my mind when Blade come out.
Yeah.
You can ask him. I'm like immediately.
Yeah.
Because I love Blade.
Hey, you know
I'm
what
sorry
I got
what
excited
happened
about?
between you
Can I-
and
can I say
Daredevil.
this?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
all
yes.
right with it.
Okay, the one I got excited about because I saw the movie. I liked the movie. Everybody else hated it. She gets bombed all the time, but Jennifer
Electra?
Garner is Elektra.
Oh yeah, no, she was
See,
great.
I wasn't a huge fan. It was
she had a
great to
great
see
comeback
her.
too
Yeah.
into this.
Yeah,
she
it
really
was.
did.
I actually did not see her standalone. I only saw her in Daredevil, so I can't judge it for I just
I like
because
her in
I've never
both.
seen it.
Daredevil and her standalone.
I'll
you know.
have to watch it. I just wasn't as huge into Elektra as I was.
Her and that.
Honestly,
I
the
just
whole
like
movie
Jennifer
was just-
Garner.
Yeah,
You know,
her and that
she's
dark
great.
red
Yeah.
leather.
Yeah,
And
no,
she
her.
still
She's
looks
great.
She
Yeah,
still
she
looks-
does.
It's like she just stepped right out of the Elektra movie right into this. And she
They
looks the same.
They all honestly looked great. Even Wesley Snipes, he
Yeah.
looked great.
Well, even now that the movie's out and they've all finally have their cameos, and Ryan Reynolds is even slowly posting little bits about how great everybody was working with them again and stuff. But just seeing what Elektra has just posted a video now that we know that she's back. She posted her full-blown like workout video, and I was just like, she really took it seriously.
Did you see Ryan Reynolds' post on Facebook to John Favreau?
Oh, I've seen them all, man.
Dude, I was dying of laughter. He goes, not that, you know, he's big on, but I don't give a shit. This is what I got to say. I was like, that's great.
I loved it.
You can tell they all love each other.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see a little bit more Juggernaut because I'm also a big Juggernaut fan. He's one of my favorite X-Men villains.
The problem with that is, though, I would have either wanted the one from Deadpool 2 because that dude was funny, CGI version.
Oh yeah.
Or I'd want Vinnie Jones.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds was Juggernaut in Deadpool 2.
Or I would want Vinnie Jones.
Well, apparently they approached him, and I forget exactly what it was.
Scheduling conflict.
I don't know if that was it or if it was a pay or money or what it was exactly, but I know that he was approached to come back.
Yeah, it would have definitely been cool to see him, but I was just happy that they had a Juggernaut in there.
Yeah.
I just found this out too. Ryan Reynolds shared the guy who played Juggernaut. Have you seen Free Guy?
Yeah.
The guy, the big
Bulky
bulky Ryan Reynolds. That's Juggernaut.
What was his name? Dude or something like that?
Yeah, Dude or something. Yeah. He even had a tattoo of a shirt. It was just funny. And then they had one of the greatest cameos in that film too with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Whenever he busted out the shield to
shit?
stop the punch, and he sees it, he's like, "What the shit?"
He leans over to me and he goes, "Oh, he's gonna say it. Avengers Assemble." And whenever he said "Flame on," I could hear him. He goes, "What?"
I love that. That was so great. It was such a good throw off.
Because he was telling me about that, and it reminded me when him and I went and seen Oppenheimer. They do the big explosion, and he goes, "Well, that's disappointing." Shit.
It was all delayed.
Yeah. He flips. He almost falls out of his chair.
I was literally in the middle of telling him, man. I was like, that must have been an editing. Like I was gonna say, that must have been an editing choice. Decide not to include the noise because I was like, oh man, must have been an editing.
When he goes to movies, he gets all into them. I've noticed that.
Yeah, dude. We're filmmakers, of course.
Like,
when Hugh Jackman's clothes were being ripped off by the machine because they were saving everybody, I was just like, and Ryan goes, "Oh, I bet you like that." And I was like,
It's like, let me soak this in.
oh, that was me getting into the movie.
What about with going back to Fantastic Four with Robert Downey being recast into Doom? How does everyone feel about that? Because I know I was expecting when they were like, "There's only one person that can play him." I'm like, "Okay, who is this going to be?" And they're like, and then it's Robert Downey. And not that he's not a great actor.
Allow me to explain it like I've had. I don't know. Allow me to explain it like I've had two.
I know there's a comic book. I know he plays him in the comic book. I know.
Yeah. So, do you remember the green and silver Iron Man?
Yeah.
That was Victor Von Doom, and that's the one he's playing. And people are like, "Oh, that kind of makes sense. That's how he's getting to be Iron Man in the MCU without."
It is kind of weird though because people will always identify him as Iron Man.
Yeah.
So see him as another superhero is kind of.
It's gonna be. I definitely have mixed feelings about it. I'm excited for him because I know he wanted to come back to Marvel, and this is a way that he can do it. But
then bringing actors back, and also this whole multiverse and time travel thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it takes away almost like when you rewatch like Endgame or Logan when they die. It's almost like it takes away from that. Not Logan specifically, more
I was gonna
Endgame with Tony Stark's death or other guys, and you can just bring him right on back now.
Well, Torch is dead, but he's not going to be now.
Right? That's true.
They're not going to do Fantastic Four without Torch. We can't do the movie now because we just killed him.
He said, "I don't know what any of that means. I didn't say any of that."
the end credits.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Of course, you probably stayed for the end credits. That big joke pays off. And he's like, "I'm going to clear my name."
Deadpool and Wolverine made me watch a movie because it was one of the funniest things where Ryan Reynolds says, "I can break the fourth wall too."
Oh.
The Proposal.
That's so funny.
I love
and
that
so
film.
I went out and watched The Proposal.
Had you not seen it before?
I had never seen it before. And I was shocked because I love Sandra Bullock. She is my very favorite. I love her.
It was good. And
the chemistry between the two were fantastic.
Amazing.
And it was funny. It was so funny.
Sandra Bullock out in the woods with Betty White. To the window. To the window.
Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah.
I love Mary Steenburgen.
Yes.
And the guy played Coach, what's his name? Her father. He played Coach.
Are you referring to?
Oh my gosh, who was that?
I'm terrible with names.
T. Clark
Craig
Nelson.
yes,
Craig
that's it,
Nelson.
that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it had a fantastic cast. I'd never
good.
heard of it before.
Oh, I can't believe it. It's so good. I love that
So
movie.
I'm glad he looked at the camera and said, "The proposal."
Yeah,
He's like,
that
okay,
way.
I can't.
send it,
Oh my
Van
god,
Wilder.
it's such a
He's
cute
like,
movie. I
oh,
love
I
that
can
movie.
lightly break the fourth wall too.
Mary Steinbrenner. The first thing I ever saw her in was Back to the Future 3.
I was going to say
Back to the Future
Oh,
3.
yeah.
Back to the Future 3.
Yes.
That was a good one.
I've seen her a lot. She was in a time travel movie, a Sherlock Holmes movie, where Sherlock Holmes is not Sherlock Holmes, but Jack the Ripper is going after her.
Yeah.
And Malcolm, I think it was
Interesting.
Malcolm McDowell, used the time machine, like he was H.G. Wells, used the time machine to go after Jack the Ripper in Mary Steenburgen's time. She was a banker at a bank.
Oh,
Interesting.
So,
it's touchy.
okay, so
Stop it.
getting back to Avengers Doomsday. So, like, they're
What?
the
Well, Avengers Doomsday is going to
that's-
come.
that's when-
that is going to
that's
be the
the
next
Robert
one. The
Downey
Secret
Jr.
Wars is
debuts.
going to be after.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Secret Wars,
he's going to be in Secret Wars.
We're supposed to
and
have Tobey
Doomsday.
Maguire and Hugh Jackman returning back for Secret
So-
Wars, I've heard.
What I want to know is where did people get Jared Leto was up for the role of Victor Von Doom? Because I never
There's
heard
just-
that at all.
There's
I
just
didn't hear that.
There's just rumors
'Cause,
that
like-
go around, or people wanting a specific person,
if
or
you-
because
in the
Jared
big
Leto
reveal,
gets
you hear
cast in
people
like
go-
everything after Morbius
Yeah.
and everything, so that everybody's like, oh, it's going to be this person.
Well, like, because, like, you know, when they did the big reveal, I heard like 10, 15 people in the crowd say, Jared Leto. I'm like, no.
They're probably making fun for the Morbius because they even said there's only one actor good enough to play this role, and then that's when they stepped aside and then the crowd parted. And
I mean, I would have been okay if, like, Julian McMahon had come back to play Victor Von Doom again. That would have been cool. Because I
Yeah.
liked him.
I just
yeah.
wish that they would, with these superhero movies, I love superhero movies, don't get me wrong, but they are pushing so much from both Marvel and DC
Yeah.
that we're getting overload.
Yep.
And the stories are all the same.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
here's the good guy, here's the enemy going to come destroy the planet. They all assemble, they fight the bad guy, and then the next movie, guess what? You got the same thing.
Yep.
And it's the same story over and over and over. It's just like The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. I've got I bought the entire series.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's like, yeah, here we go again. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not excited that Daryl Dixon's already. They said there's already gonna be like a third and fourth season. And I'm just like, these spinoffs need to be a one
You
and
know
done,
what?
or maybe 2 seasons tops,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
conclude it and bring
I
everybody
agree.
back into like
2
maybe
seasons
one
should have been all they got.
one big Walking Dead special. You know, bring Daryl back, Rick back, everybody back, Maggie, everybody into one big like Walking Dead movie special or limited series like Walking Dead season 12 technically, and bring it back and just do one last get together, hoorah, and that's it.
Well,
That's-
Supernatural, I love the series finale, but that show should have ended 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you save the world from apocalypse? How many times
Yeah.
can you beat Armageddon? How many
Yeah.
times can, and this is all of them, go to
Yeah.
hell and come back? I mean,
They
one
died
brother and then
every
the other
episode.
brother. They
Yeah.
kept
Yeah.
using every episode. Somebody's going to hell, and then they have a few episodes and come back. How many times can you do the same thing over
Yeah.
and over and over?
I tell you, whenever Supernatural first came out, in that very first season 2 ending where Sam dies for the first time, I remember watching that for the first time, and I'm like 13, 14, I don't remember exactly. I was younger. I was devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated. And then they all just kept dying. So I was
When-
like, oh, okay, I'm
when-
a little new
Anymore,
to
you
this
didn't
now.
care.
Yeah.
They're dead again.
They'll be back, don't worry.
When Dean died at the end of 3 by the Hellhounds, I was like, dude, that's freaking nuts.
They did a gnarly job
Yeah.
on that. That was a good.
I was like,
that was
whoa.
good.
Yeah, so that's how I'm feeling with Dexter because it just got announced because he died in New Blood, technically. So they had one ending with the first 8 seasons, and then they brought it back. And in my opinion, I love the story, and some people complained and hated it.
I was
But-
just getting ready to start watching Dexter. Now I don't have to.
Well, now they're bringing him back, so technically he didn't
What
die.
have you done?
He didn't. Hey, he's not dead. He's not dead because they want to rake in like more cash. But I think he had enough story in the first original 8 seasons, and then bringing him back for one more.
So I was
perfect.
told that the best season of Dexter was the one with John Lithgow.
Oh, season
Oh,
4,
was
it's
it
great.
good?
That's and I haven't seen any of them yet. So I
Oh,
really haven't
you
started
need to watch
watching
it.
them.
Honestly,
1, 4
Dexter's genius.
Yeah, 1, 4, 6, and New Blood are my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. I got sad at the end of season 4, but
Did y'all see the finale of Supernatural?
Yes.
I have
She
not. I'm
stopped
not
at
caught
10.
up yet.
It
I've only
was the
seen the
perfect
first 5.
finale. I have to say that.
Yeah.
Even though it should have been 5 years ago, this was the perfect
Yeah, this was the
finale.
best way.
It was really a
Well,
good.
that ending's
setup.
getting ready to get retconned because I heard that a season 16 may be on the
They
horizon.
are talking about it, but I
Yeah,
hope
I
that
swear
they
to
don't.
you,
I
I've
hope that
heard.
they don't.
No,
I've heard they
they're-
want to bring
they're-
it back.
No, they're talking about
Money.
Instead of doing a 16, they're talking about doing a movie now
Why?
where Jared apparently apparently Jared teaches the kids. Apparently Dean's going to be somehow involved, but he's still dead.
Well, I get revisiting characters and worlds and stories and stuff, but sometimes you just gotta let the character be and think about maybe where they could be in your mind now. You know what I mean?
Did you ever see the animated series for Supernatural?
You talking about the episode that was animated
No.
within?
No. They
The whole
made the
animated
entire
series.
first 2 seasons animated.
No,
Yeah, it's like
No.
anime.
I have it downstairs.
I didn't even know they made one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love the animated series where they turn into Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
I have.
That
Yeah.
was funny.
So basically,
Didn't
it's
make
the
it there
first
yet.
2 seasons,
All done.
kind
anime.
of just condensed. You can't tell sometimes that it's not Jensen and Jared because they weren't present all the time, but it's so good. It's honestly fun to watch.
I have to
But
check
it's
it out.
basically a recap of season 1 and 2.
See, seasons 1 and 2, when it first started,
So
I liked it
good.
a whole lot better because they were standalone episodes.
They were
They
simple.
they were attacking things like Bloody Mary
Wendigos
or
and
the
Bloody
ghost, hitchhiking on the street. All
Bloody
the
Mary is my
the,
favorite episode.
I still say my
all the folk tales.
Yeah.
They covered all the folk tales.
They did. They really
individual.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I like.
My favorite episode out of the whole series is still the Groundhog's Day episode
Oh yeah.
when they killed Jensen like 100
Heat
times.
of the moment.
He's like, every day, picking a poke. Hey.
Hey, but before I forget, Captain America. There's a new Captain America.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely
Now, I
we'll
saw
talk about
something-
that down in a little bit.
I saw something briefly online about Red Hulk. Is it Captain America he's supposed to be coming
No.
into? Or which one?
Harrison
It's
Ford's
Harrison
character
Ford.
is going to be Red Hulk. Now, I have
Harrison
avoided
Ford.
all images of it. I've seen like his back, and I've seen where he like starts to turn into the Red Hulk. But Harrison Ford's character is going to be the Red Hulk, and I have avoided
Which
everything.
movie though?
It's gonna be this one. It's
New
gonna be
World Order.
New World Order.
New World Order.
I love Harrison Ford. Don't get me wrong, but
Well, it's a brave new
but
world.
him
Yeah.
turning into the Hulk.
Yes,
Yes.
he's gonna turn into the Red Hulk.
Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Yes,
That's like doing
Well,
Indiana
he's
Jones
even
17.
actually confused about it. Yeah,
Well,
he's
you
even
also-
actually confused about it.
You also have to think too that he is also replacing an actor that had passed who was playing that character.
But he's kind of old.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
Pop
doing
in
the
that
motion
gamma
work
ray.
for.
Huh?
Pop in that gamma ray, and he's not old anymore. He turns into the Red Hulk.
Is it going to be a
I don't-
CGI Hulk? CGI Hulk can be in it.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to do the action work for the Red Hulk. I think somebody else did it.
Yeah. He's.
Because, I mean, he's what, 80 something?
Oh no, he's not that old yet.
He's about
I
81.
think so. I
Is
think
he
he's up
80?
there.
Because,
How
like,
old is Harrison
he's,
Ford?
he's a couple years younger than Chuck Norris. I know that. And Chuck is 84.
I didn't.
That's what I respected about the last Indiana Jones movies is that they kept it real.
Yeah.
They didn't try to pretend like he was still young doing the same thing, which is what
Right.
I like, and just like the last Rocky movie, Rocky didn't come out like, oh, I could still take on the world. He came out and was just humbled with his age
Yeah.
and then helping somebody else.
Yeah.
Stop it.
My mom, Harrison Ford is her man. Like, has always been her man from actually because she was obsessed with Harrison Ford. I grew up on the original Star Wars movies. Grew up on them literally.
It's William Hurt. He
Oh,
was going to
yeah.
play Thunderbolt Ross, and then he
Yeah.
had passed away, and that's who Harrison Ford's
He,
replacing.
he just turned 82.
I told you.
My goodness, I
Knew
didn't
it.
realize he was that much older.
But this is nothing new for our podcast. We rant and get off topic sometimes. It's
All
supposed
the
to be a
time.
Disney podcast, and last week was actually the TV series, and we got a little. And not saying that there's nothing wrong with that. It's just letting you guys know that that's not new for us, but it is for Disney.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there. I had to bring that.
Okay.
Bring that in.
So since we were talking about last week's episode, let's take a brief moment. Tell your story
I just got bit.
Story.
about reality TV
Oh yeah, you had a
shows.
story you wanted to tell us about reality TV. Tell us
Okay,
real
I
quick.
was on the Travel Channel.
Dude, we
100th
both were on the
episode.
travel. I worked on the Travel Channel,
Yeah.
American Grill.
And
That's
I was
hilarious.
on Ghost Adventures.
That's so funny.
And I was on the 100th episode of Ghost Adventures.
Ah, that's iconic.
And it was funny because it was the Exorcist house. And it was the house that was over in St. Louis. And we were actually in the house where the real events
Get
took
out.
place with
That's
the little
cool.
boy.
Get
No
out.
way.
So me and a couple of friends that was in it, Dan Irwin and Shane, I think it was Shane, we were dressed in priests. We dressed like priests. So when we got there to the house, we all get out of our cars. We're standing there side by side looking up at the house. And I'm thinking to myself, the neighbors are looking out the window saying, oh crap, here we go again. Because we're all standing there as priests. Well, we filmed all day long.
Did you get to meet Zach Bagans?
Did what now?
Did you get to meet Zach?
Oh,
I didn't get to meet Zach, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. I'll tell you about that. too.
I hear he's a major tool.
He's a prima donna.
Yeah, I've
So let's
heard.
put it this way: the producers, the writers, everybody behind the scenes. When we had our lunch break and they ordered all kinds of food for us, whatever we wanted, they were saying that Zach was complaining because they put him up in the nicest hotel in St. Louis. I don't know which one that is, but it was the nicest hotel. And he was complaining because it wasn't up to his standards. Well, the rest of them were sitting there saying, well, I'm in a Holiday Inn. You know?
I heard he is a major
That's
diva,
ridiculous.
a major tool, and I think that's why Nick left the show because Nick left to do his own thing.
Maybe,
And I'm
maybe,
pretty
why,
sure-
maybe that's
No,
why none of us have made it
everybody
big yet,
talking
because we're going to just become divas too.
Well, what they
We'll be
did,
like, talk to
what
me.
they did, we filmed all day. There was one scene, it started pouring down rain. I mean, buckets of rain. And so they had me out there in my priest outfit, and they just filmed a shot of me going up like this, and like up, you know. And so they got that in there. But they cut everything out. They had me.
wow.
We was doing the history scenes where I was a priest, and I'm sitting there, I'm reading from this book, and I'm doing this exorcism, you know, and I'm
power of
sweating,
Christ
sweating,
compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
and the sweat's pouring off my face and everything. And the cameraman said that was great, man. This is some good footage here. They cut it all out of there. You know why?
Why?
Because Zach wanted to say 15 times in 30 minutes. Did you hear that? Diablo. That's devil in Spanish.
So he
I don't
told
know how
you
many
to
times
go
he said that in episodes. Like, people want to see the history
Yeah.
behind the house. Because
Yeah.
me, that was the most interesting part of the day, is just being in that house. But this is
Oh,
where
gosh,
this is what
lucky
got me
duck.
about reality TV. When we got there that morning, okay, there was a Ouija board sitting on like a coffee table. I'm looking at that and thinking, well, with the history that this house has, the
I
real
would not
history,
have brought that in there.
why would anybody have a Ouija board in this house? The people that actually live there now. So why would they do that with the history? So I didn't think anything more about it. And
People live in it right now.
yeah, there's
People
living
live
there.
in this alley
Yeah,
house.
yeah, it's in a
What?
regular neighborhood.
I just got
It's
chills.
a regular neighborhood,
I just got chills.
and
Why would you live there? Why would you live
I
there?
figure it was just history.
I didn't realize they actively lived there.
Yeah.
You
Steps.
gotta remember, we're in St. Louis here.
There were steps that go up to the bedroom, and we had to walk up those steps because they wanted to get angles of us, the footsteps going up and down these steps about 1,000 times, which they also cut out. But we was up there, and we were there all day
Did you
long.
at least get paid good?
They didn't pay you anything.
What the fuck?
They were supposed to, at least they promised to give us pictures from the set, because they took all kinds of pictures with me
Yeah.
and the possessed boy and his mother and and me and the other two friends of mine. They were supposed to take pictures, and they never did. I even sent them an email saying, "Hey, you going to send me this?" Oh yeah, we'll get it. They never did.
Wow.
So-
Travel Channel do better.
But anyway, with this Ouija board, when we got there that morning, I didn't think anything of it. I saw it there. When I watched the episode, I'm sitting there watching it. I'm already disappointed, right? Because they cut out most of the stuff so Zach could talk about Diablo, meaning, devil. He's a real smart one. So when I saw it, Zach gets up there and says, yeah, we were having a lot of trouble trying to communicate and get anything going here. So we brought in our paranormal expert who brought in a Ouija board. And I said, liar,
Right?
that Ouija board was there that morning.
Shaku.
You had planned,
Shaku, mother-
you had planned all along to have this in the show.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's all exaggerated
Yeah,
and,
well, they said
and
that they brought,
everything.
they just decided to bring it last minute. No, you didn't. The thing was, everyone got there early in the morning.
So whenever you was doing your stuff, was it more like reenactment to show like the history, or okay? Because I was gonna say I was gonna say like if they were gonna be doing like bringing in like priests to like bless it or something.
That was my first.
Then I was gonna say I was like, oh, so like because it blends into what we were talking about last week about how reality TV is pretty fake and stuff. That if they would have hired you to like act like a real priest or something,
a fake priest.
You know what I mean? But if you was doing the reenactments, then that's understandable too. But still, like that's disappointing to hear that. But
yeah, we were supposed to do the reenactment, the history behind it, and like I said, the cameraman, everybody was complimenting the three of us. They said,
I bet honestly, I bet it's good.
In the episode, you could see me standing there holding the cross over the boy, and you could there's a few clips of me where you can actually see me in the episode. So it's kind of cool. I even took pictures on my phone. I got pictures where you can actually see me on there. But
honestly, I think the only real evidence that we get from like those types of things are their movies. Like, did you ever see the Ghost Adventures very first documentary, how they actually got started doing ghosts? Sorry, we're off topic. We need to get back on it.
No, I was talking, I could hear him crunching. I was talking about muting this mofo over here.
Yeah. I've done real paranormal.
Me too.
You too?
I love it.
We over in New Mexico, St. James Motel. We did a paranormal investigation there all night long. We had all the cameras, there were like 6 monitors.
There's a little graveyard right outside of, it's not Litchfield, Livingston, Illinois. There's a little cemetery. I went there. It was 4 of us. It was me, my friend, her boyfriend, and her younger brother, who was still, I think, like maybe going on 18 at the time. We went out to this place because I had an experience there prior. A friend's father was buried there, and whenever we went to visit, I was kind of letting her have her own time because I would just happen to be in the car with her. I felt somebody touch my arm, so I turned over because I thought maybe it was her. It wasn't her. There was nobody in our back seat. So I was like, I think it's time for us to go. So I brought my friends back there later on to do a little, just to see if we could see anything. Well, we split off into 2 teams. We went this way, they went that way. Well, we see 2 people walking this way, and they're pitch black. I mean, pitch black. It's already dark out, so you're going to see something pitch black. So we were like, oh, well, maybe it's just the guys. They ended up coming from the completely different direction not 2 minutes later. There was no time for them, for it to make any sense. So we were like, let's go over here. So, I mean, it's a really cool place.
It's really exciting, some of the things. Most people think, like when they watch Ghost Adventures, they think that every time they go somewhere, something's going to happen. Yeah. And with Zach, it's a demon. Yeah. First thing, that's very rare. It does happen.
Mm-hmm. It does happen.
Rare. But most of the time, and you can vouch with me here because you too, most of the time when you go, you might sit there all night and not a thing happens. It's very, very boring. But it's exciting being there for the history.
Oh my God, I would love to visit the Sally House.
When something does happen, that's the icing on the cake. Yeah. When something does happen, but most of the times it's not.
Yeah.
You're like, I got something I want to add.
Well, since we're on the topic of haunts and scares and all that stuff, I'm going to put my 2 cents in. At the state penitentiary in Jefferson City, Missouri, when I was working on, it was at the time called Operational, but now Haunting Cell Block 11.
It's great. Watch it.
We're definitely, check it out. We was at the state penitentiary. They do tours and stuff there. And I will say it's the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my life when we went down into the basement where death row was, and we were filming in the very back, and I was walking past every jail cell on death row, and I kind of started I actually sped walk through it, and that was pretty uncomfortable.
You wouldn't look in the cells at all.
Yeah, no, because I was scared of looking in there real quick, and all of a sudden it's just like, bah! Scared me. Like, I don't know. But they actually brought in a ghost team one night after we wrapped to do something, and it was one of those cases where nothing happened, and they were like, if there's somebody here, make a noise, or if somebody's here, they roll a pencil down the hallway, roll it back. And I stayed literally after a 12, 14-hour day to watch this, and we stayed for like an hour, 2 hours, and just nothing.
And usually that's the way it is. Most people think every time you go, something's going to happen, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
It takes an excessive amount of energy for a spirit to be able to do things.
If you go to a place, though, that's kind of like that, high energy or whatever, like I said, walking down, I don't know if it was just because I knew it was death row or what, but my hairs were standing. I felt very uncomfortable.
The thing that got me, the biggest thing, we went over to Hannibal Cemetery over in Hannibal, and we filmed in this very old cemetery. Okay, so it was open. There's one like a bench sitting in the middle of the cemetery. Okay, by itself. There's trees on the outskirts. So we started taking pictures, at dusk time, and we were there all night long. Okay, nobody was there. We stayed there till early the next morning, and when we got back, my friend were looking at these pictures. Said, Bill, look at this. And when I looked at it, it sent chills up my spine. I started jumping up and down because this was the first time I'd ever seen anything that I knew wasn't faked because we just took the pictures.
Right.
It hadn't been tampered with. I knew, and it wasn't something like, "Hey, look at there! I can see James Stewart right there in the clouds." You can see whatever you want if you're looking for it, right?
Yep.
But this was not like that. You could see on that bench was a man and woman sitting on the bench. They were transparent. You could see them, but you could see the detail. And he had his arm around her, and it looked like old military kind, like Civil War type stuff. You could see his boots. You could see the cut of her dress. So you could see through them. You could see the back of the bench between them. But it was real, and that was even before we, enlarged it. When we enlarged it, there was no detail on the face, but you could see their shapes perfectly, and that freaked me. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm jumping up and down because it's the first time that I saw something that I knew this is real. This is not tampered with. This is not CGI. This is real. I was so excited.
When we're done, I've got one more ghost story. I'll tell outside of this because we need to get back on topic.
I just kind of realized that the AC's on. I can hear the hum, and I forgot to turn the AC off for this episode. So hopefully it's not too bad.
Before
we
didn't notice it.
Leave the topic matter because we could just call this D23
It's going to be called Disney is Haunted because we're talking Disney and we're talking haunts. Disney is haunted.
So I got
Captain America: Brave New World. I'm very excited about. So
well, hold on.
Well, I was just going back to what we were last talking about.
I know, but you guys brought up something that I forgot about.
He's like, I didn't get to tell a ghost story, guys.
Well, hurry up, TJ. We got to get back on topic.
Have you guys been to Pennsylvania?
Of course not.
Okay, so I went to Philadelphia a couple of years ago, and I took a tour of America's first prison.
No, how do you know it's the first?
Because it is.
Well, how do you know that?
Anyways, continue your story so we can get back on topic.
So I got a tour by Steve Buscemi, one of Adam Sandler's guys.
That's dope.
That was cool.
So
we're going all around, and I've got the picture because it's I got a picture of Al Capone's cell. That was before he went to Alcatraz.
Ooh, interesting.
But this is the weirdest thing, and there's people that have been working there 25, 30 years and never seen this. In one of the cells, there's a full-length freaking automobile. It's from like 2008 or some shit.
Really?
They're like, how did this get in it? It's just sitting there in one of the cells. There's rocks around it and everything, and they're just like, they called down the person that had worked there the longest. They'd been there like 32 years, and they're like, where the hell did that come from? How long's it been there?
I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm going to lick it anyway.
Like,
oh my God.
There's a full car in this cell. They'd never seen it before. And they're just like, what the heck? We went down to Death Row and all that and got to see all that stuff.
Ooh, Frozen 3 got announced too?
Yep.
And,
what 3?
Also,
Frozen 3.
Thanks for listening to the Haunted Mansion podcast. We are now moving back to our original topic.
You saying that? They just announced about 2 hours ago Frozen live on Broadway on Disney Plus in 2025.
Oh, cool. Yes. That'll be nice to see.
Yeah, so Frozen 3 2027. 2027. And we talked about Fantastic Four and Captain America already, obviously. Lilo and Stitch. Tron 3 is finally happening. But Jared Leto's in that one. It's called Tron Ares. And they announced that 9 Inch Nails is actually scoring the film, so that'd be interesting.
I like me some 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, I bet you do.
We talked a little Zootopia 2 already. Avatar got 3 got announced.
No.
And they announced the title.
No.
Did they say when Avatar 3 is coming out?
Yes, in 2020, December 19, 2025.
2065.
December next year.
Did they say what kind of world, like this last one, the water?
You ready to hear it?
Yes, it's the Fire Nation.
Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds hot.
I was joking.
Honestly, it's better than the original title. It was going to be called like Avatar the Seed Bearer or something like that.
Oh, no. That sounds disgusting.
Like porn.
Yeah.
I loved Avatar 2. I loved Avatar 1.
Yeah, we actually went and saw Avatar 2 together.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, remember
I
last
love
year we went. You invited me out to go see it with you.
That's right.
It was really
excellent,
good.
Wasn't
It was so good. It was beautiful. I think
I
we
haven't
watched
had
it
a
in
chance
IMAX
to
3D,
see it
didn't we?
yet.
IMAX 3D.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Because the 3D effects were just as
For
beautiful as the
Avatar,
first
it's
one.
great.
It is.
Like for animated films, 3D, especially Disney 3D, can be really well in animated films.
Just an alien Pocahontas.
Deadpool and Wolverine, I
good.
saw that in IMAX 3D, and the 3D was really good in that because they purposely did stuff for funny stuff, like the skull, the head, it comes flying out toward the screen. It looks like it's coming out.
Oh yeah.
And the swords were coming out the screen. So in 3D, but they did it purposely to really put it in your face.
Did you see Deadpool Wolverine 3D?
Yeah.
IMAX 3D?
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky son
Deadpool-
of a gun. I want to see that.
I wanna
And
go
the
see it over
3D was
Nethersville.
excellent because they planned for it. The jokes were built around the 3D where when something come out of the screen, they meant for it to really come out. You know, it wasn't, there was nothing subtle about
I
it.
want to go see it at the Alamo and get the
There's-
chimichangas.
There's another movie getting ready to come out
That's
in
what I
another
want.
week that's going to take over Deadpool Wolverine IMAX. So you won't be able to see Deadpool Wolverine IMAX. The more it's like, gotta see it in 3D. That'd be cool.
What's that?
Freakier Friday is happening. That's Freaky
Yeah.
Friday 2.
I'm
Jamie Lee Curtis,
indifferent
Lindsay
to
Lohan.
that,
Freakier
yeah.
Friday.
Jamie Lee Curtis back in it
They
again?
both are.
Both
Her and
are.
Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan is now a mom, and of
Yeah.
course that makes Jamie Lee Curtis a grandma. So in this one, instead of 2 people, maybe they have 3. Maybe the grandkid switches with the mom, or
Oh,
no,
that'll be wild.
with the grandma and the grandma to the baby and the mom. Well, then where would the mom go? I guess I don't know.
Maybe this
I don't
time,
know how they would do
maybe
it.
this
But
time Michael Myers kills her.
who knows? But that's happening. Hoppers, I think, is an original new
Yeah.
one they're doing.
Is that about Bunny Rabbit?
No, it's actually about these people who are going to put the mind of them into animals so they can
What?
infiltrate the animal kingdom. I guess to learn about animals and what they do, I guess, is what I've heard anyway.
Believe me,
Mandalorian,
he's not monkeying around.
Mandalorian and Grogu is
Yes.
happening. Instead of
Okay,
another season, it's a
okay.
movie.
This is the
Oh,
way.
okay.
Yep, 2026. Toy Story 5 was also announced June 19th, 2026.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
Do they
That's
make
all-
any original movies anymore?
No.
Well, apparently Hoppers.
The idea for Toy Story 5, they finally announced what it's going to be about. It's going to be about how the toys are dealing with the kids moving into like the digital age with tablets and stuff. So now they got to deal
Shit,
with.
at this-
You won't play with us,
No,
but you'll play games
at
on your
this
tablet.
point,
Is what
at
they're
this
going to deal
point, they
with.
just might as well, deal with Andy moving into the nursing home and his mom died or
Honestly,
some shit.
it wouldn't surprise me if we get that in like Toy Story 10 or something. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't. I mean,
How old are you now? You're
I missed you, buddy.
You're 74 years
I'm
old.
sorry.
and then they already showed concept art for 5, which is going to have, we last saw in 4, Woody and Buzz went separate ways, and it already showed in the concept art. Bonnie's on her tablet while the toys are looking, and Woody's right there with them. So I don't know why. But I didn't see Bo Peep in the concept art. So what happened? Did they break up?
Well, yeah, her and Woody
What
got
happened?
divorced
Right?
because Woody was trying it.
Went back.
Buzz was giving her his Woody.
Oh shoot!
Well, what's funny is they just forgot about her. In the third one, they just forgot about her.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, they did kind of show you what happened, like where she went. All that
Well, they
stuff,
had to
but-
explain why they forgot about her.
Yeah. I know you got excited whenever you saw Frozen 3. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, like when we were talking earlier, like this is literally a list of like, besides, I think it's Elio and Hopper sounds like the only 2 new
Yeah.
original things. Everything
Well,
else is either a
Mandalorian.
remake, reboot, or sequel.
Mandalorian.
Well, I mean, technically Mufasa is
Or-
a new thing, but
Yeah, because
But
it's
it's
not.
still a
It's
prequel.
not a
It's still a prequel.
Yeah.
It's a prequel, but
yeah.
But it's still,
It's still a story
different
we've
story.
never
Regardless
heard.
of what
Yeah.
it-
standalone
Yeah.
story.
regardless of what it is, it's a quill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prequel, sequel.
No, that's fair.
And then Incredibles 3. We were talking earlier. I'm really excited about that.
What's that?
They don't have a release date; it just says in development. Incredibles 3,
Oh yeah.
which I mean, I love the first one. It just sucks it took so long to get the sequel. You know what I mean? And I love that it picked up basically right where the first one left off. They dealt with the mole rat dude, Sewer King or whatever his name was, Sewer Rat or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I like to visit the world of the Incredibles. They're fun.
So
Maybe the kids will be more grown up. Who knows?
off topic from Disney, but something
topic, huh?
that I heard that they're
That's the first
planning on
tonight.
doing. Live action Ninja Turtles Last Ronin.
Yep, that's happening.
And I'm like,
I'm excited.
yes.
That ought to be
And
interesting.
it was funny because
Take it back to the theme of the first Turtles movie. Make it dark again.
Yeah,
Actually, make
definitely.
it darker.
Yeah.
You know?
because like
Make it for the adults.
when that
Let's have
first
some fun.
when that graphic novel first came out, you and I were like debating on who it was, and I'm like, dude, it can
Don't
only be
spoil
one.
it.
Dude, by now everybody's read it or
I
heard
didn't know of it for the longest time until someone finally just hit me with it, and I was like, "Oh, you suck."
it. And I'm like, dude, it has to be Mikey.
Oh, so there it is.
Yep, I don't care.
Okay, tell me this. Have any of you seen Borderlands yet?
Not yet.
Not
Nope.
yet.
Was it
Okay.
good?
Oh yeah, he actually wanted to ask you because I heard it's just been getting bombed on. It's got like a 3 or
It
4
got,
out of 10.
it got 7% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
like
Direct-
55%.
The director said, besides all the critic reviews and everything it's getting right now, he is saying, give the film a chance. Bill, did we give the film a chance?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Okay.
Okay, now,
He didn't, even
granted,
know, he didn't even know it was a video game.
I didn't know it was there. I've
Okay.
never seen the video game. I went in fresh, not
Okay,
knowing any
okay.
backstory, not knowing anything.
Cool.
So people that maybe play the games, maybe they have a different opinion
Easter
because of
eggs,
that.
stuff like that.
I
Right.
feel like
Okay,
maybe I
okay.
might have a slightly different opinion because I do know about the games. I have, I've experienced the games. So
To me, it was funny. It was well acted. There was some great special effects, a lot of great action.
Yeah.
Had a good story. It was like a ragtag bunch. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, where these ragtag get together to try to help something. But how can you beat a cast that has Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black?
it has a
yeah.
star-studded cast, but it's
Yeah,
been getting so
yeah.
bombed. So I was wondering.
I
But
actually
if you
heard
said it was good, then I trust your opinion.
I heard it's a little different for Kevin Hart, where he's not the full blown what do you call it?
Retard?
No,
Don't say that.
the comedic relief of the film. I heard I heard he's funny, but
I loved Kevin Hart.
I heard
He
he's
is-
not like his usual comedic relief.
I thought he was very funny in this. He
Really?
had a lot
Okay.
of funny lines. And the thing with it is Kevin Hart, I don't know if you've ever seen that thing where he wanted to be a superhero. It's on TV. I just can't remember which station it was on, or which streaming service, but he wanted to be a superhero, and they kept saying about how short he was, and he could do it. Well, he's a small guy, but in this one here, he gets to be the hero because he gets to
Nice.
beat up on. But he does a lot of action stuff that
I
is great.
bet he loved that.
So I loved Kevin Hart there. I like Kevin Hart anyway. But Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black, and the cast goes on and on. The two other, the one that plays the young girl that you've seen the trailer, the bunny ears, whatever.
Yeah.
She was excellent. I loved her character.
Well, you have
and the
renewed
redhead.
my excitement for
You got to
it.
be
so.
careful
So
with
I
that
liked
Kevin
it.
Hart though, because he's a part of the Illuminati.
Oh, all celebrities are part of
Have you
Illuminati.
have you guys ever seen that one interview with Kelly Clarkson when they were talking or something, and she said, I forget what it was, but it had something to do with like just like the people or whatever, and he was trying to stop her by he was like, and she's like, oh, are they listening? And he's like, you ever seen that? Yeah, he was like trying to shush her, like don't on camera, and they left it in, bro. It's it was kind of weird because it's almost like, what are you hiding, man? What are you hiding? But yeah,
I'm thinking about going
He's
to see
still
Borderlands again. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You would see it again?
I would go see it again because
see it again?
I was laughing at a lot of stuff the first time. There was so much action. I'm afraid I might have missed something. And so, like Deadpool, Wolverine, I saw that twice. But see, I've got the A list, AMC's A list, so I can see 3 movies a week for the price of 1 movie.
buddy. And
So
when Dutch gets
And I make
bigger
the
and they
best
have
of
it,
it.
I'm gonna probably get up on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'll have
for
to get up
real.
on it.
Talking about movies we're excited for. The Rock has a new movie coming out this year with who was that?
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
The guy that played J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
Oh, you're talking
thank
about
you.
Red One.
No. It's they have to save Santa Claus. Is that the name of the
oh,
movie?
the red one,
Dude,
the
I
red
don't-
one. It looks,
Sure.
it looks great.
I
This
don't know.
happens all the time with TJ. He'll be like what happened when we were talking video game? I just got done talking about Doom, and he goes, it's another good movie. Doom.
First off,
does it all.
Doom is a shitty movie. That was horrible. Carl
Have
Urban.
you ever
And,
seen Borderlands?
no. What's that about? You should tell me. Hey, have you heard of this new movie coming out called Deadpool and Wolverine?
Hey, have you heard about this one new movie coming out in December 2026 called Director's Cut?
Yes.
You're a dork.
It's gonna
But-
be good.
so,
I can't wait to get to work on that.
Because so they've been working on this movie for like 2 years now, and I seen the footage of J.K. working out. And I was like,
He
damn,
put on
dude,
some muscle.
he's like 70 something years old. I'm like, dude, he's ripped.
He's like good.
It looks like that's going to be a fun movie. It really does.
You want to know what it is? He drank a ton of Zoas.
That's probably what it is. Oh man, get it. Not supposed to feel it. We will take this possibility day now. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, dude, this looks funny. I'm like, and then I heard there's also a Violent Night 2.
Yes, that is happening. That is happening.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love.
Did you get to see that?
Violent
With David Arbor, that was
Dude, that was so.
He was brutal.
I remember.
literally
It
hit
was
my
so
top
good.
5 favorite Christmas movies of all
I
time.
remember watching it.
100%.
We were at your brother's house
It's so
because your
good.
brother invited us over to come watch it and have dinner and stuff. And I'm like, dude, this movie's
That's
fucking
so good.
hilarious.
That's so
What?
good. What?
Were you not with us?
No.
I thought she was.
No.
Violent Night?
Yeah, we went. What's your brother's name?
Right.
Dude, I'm bad with names.
No, we watched it at his house when I
Yeah.
got it on Blu-ray.
Um,
And I'm so bummed because a year later, the film finally came out on 4K. It's like they didn't release it together. So I was like, I bought it on Blu-ray and now it's out on 4K. I'm like, son of a bitch.
No,
Yeah.
he's got that on 4K because he got on everything on 4K.
we figured Dutch might sit and watch it with us, but he was playing with the cousins, and it was real icy outside. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, it was. I remember.
Because we were sliding down the street.
Oh my god. With my son in the car?
Yeah.
Ryan,
It wasn't
Why
on
were you-
purpose. It was icy.
why were you out with my son and it was icy?
Because I'm pretty sure you said, go, have fun. Take my
No,
son.
no,
Let me be
no.
alone.
I think you were originally picking him up because I think your mom had him,
I don't know. Maybe it could have been one of the...
and she had the Camaro out.
I
Right.
definitely didn't know this happened, so
Yes, you did.
I did not.
You even said, be careful with my son on the way home. And I was like, I guess.
trouble.
Right, yeah. Something that happened like a year ago.
But no, like, I'm excited for it because it's a different type of role for J.K. Simmons. I'm like, all right, yeah,
JK's awesome.
yeah.
Whiplash. Anybody see him in Whiplash?
I don't know.
You didn't see Whiplash?
It's fun. It's good. It's
It
good.
got. I'm pretty sure it won Best Editing that year at the Academy Awards, but I
That's
forget
the
what
drum
else.
one, right?
Yeah, I forget what else it was nominated for. I know it won a few other things. I think J.K. might have even won for Best Supporting Actor.
It was that no good Spider-Man.
I don't typically like serious movies like that. I'm a big horror genre. I like my fantasies. I like my superheroes. It's very seldom that I like to watch a real world type movie, and that was really, really good.
I have a suggestion for you. The Proposal.
Dude, so talking about real life movies and shit like that, the movie that the three of us missed out on going to be a part of over in St. Louis just came out on Tubi. It was about an earthquake that hit, like the earthquake. And I was so mad because we were supposed to go do it, but something came up with you that week. Your car broke down, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. Something,
And I was
maybe.
like, dang it, dude.
Dude, something I was thinking, another topic we can do and bring Bill back on for is like, because I know it would be a lot of fun with Bill is like just talking like some of our favorite like comedians.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Red Fox.
Talking about
That'd be fun.
comedians. I really feel like that would be a really fun topic with you.
So,
Whoa.
okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say because we basically got
Well,
we got Robin Williams with us basically.
so does that mean I'm Jim
No
Carrey?
joke. No joke. This is almost like when Robin Williams passed on, his spirit went into Bill.
No, darling, you don't want to talk like that right now. You know.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
So if we're gonna do that, then I need to recommend you guys watch something on Netflix.
What's that?
Being Gene Wilder.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
Dude, I watched it and I cried.
I love Gene.
It was so
I think
beautiful.
it was another one we missed when we talk about
Yeah, I
dead
know.
celebrities that have passed on. We missed that one. Dude, we missed the whole... I mean, there's so many people have passed, man.
wish-
We missed the list.
I should have brought my Sunnydale shirt because I have a Sunnydale shirt from Buffy. It says Sunny, and it's got two like the wooden stakes crossed like that.
Oh,
and it
cool.
says Sunnydale established. You know,
I love Buffy the Vampire
I've got the
Slayer.
entire series. I've got all the entire series of Buffy and Angel, and I love it. That was the best, and that was considered the best writing on television when that during its reign.
Joss Whedon
Buffy
wrote a
was-
lot of
yeah.
it.
Little did we know
He
that
did
he was a
eventually.
piece of shit.
That's
yeah.
true. I shouldn't be throwing his name out there like he's some really great guy.
Yeah.
He,
I
may
never-
have, he had a talent for writing, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Anything else about him?
I did not care for Angel. I actually did not care for Angel as a character. I'm a Spike I'm a Spike.
She is.
I'm a Spike.
I like Spike,
She wanted to
but I
get
like the way they
spiked.
played off of each other though.
Mm.
And
They did well
between
together.
Angel and Spike, especially
Yeah.
the puppet episode. It was so funny.
I think I just didn't like I did not think that Buffy and Angel had the chemistry that they were trying to portray on screen. I think that she had better chemistry with Spike. They were more alike. I don't know.
You know-
and I think Spike was a lot more genuine because he went to hell and got his soul back. Angel was forced back on his.
So did Dean and
So, what if one night we do a Buffy episode?
I could talk all
But-
freaking day about Buffy.
But here's a
Love
twist.
Buffy.
I would have to email him and find out what he would charge to do it. I know it's not much.
Uh-oh.
Oh, are you talking about actual
But,
Angel?
but no, Nicholas,
You talking about
Xander.
the guy who played my boy Xander?
yeah,
Oh.
he lives about 2.5 hours away.
Really?
He lives over in Terre Haute.
He
I would
loved
love
Xander.
that.
Yeah.
I would love to geek out with him on the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
if
he
we
lives
do
over.
that, remind me to tell you my experience with the one that played Cordelia.
Oh,
Ooh.
This guy's got experiences at the evening. We could just have
Yeah,
we should have just, since he was our first.
Well, yeah,
We'll
First
have to have
special
just
guest.
a Bill
I
episode.
was gonna say,
I have a
I know he
great
just needs to
Bill.
just talk it all out, and we just need to all
that's-
just be a part of it.
that's an
Just,
X-rated conversation.
well, this is real talk after dark, baby.
This Cordelia
His
and
mom
I got
watches
to,
this.
I got to
Oh.
meet three. Well, I got pictures of them. I took pictures. The one Cordelia, the one blonde. I can't think of her name. She was in Wonder Woman as a secretary. And she was also in Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
And then what's her name that played on Charmed?
Holly Marie Combs.
Holly Marie Combs. The three of them were together, and I was able
Oh,
to
that's
ask
cool.
questions to them up from the podium, and I got their pictures and stuff afterwards.
That's cool.
And but remind me to tell you sometime about Cordelia.
All right.
She's a lot like her character.
We're at
All
our
right.
time.
Well,
by the
as
way.
we start closing out this podcast, as we come to a close with the D23 announcements that just came out. What
like
is
that.
everybody
DC.
the most excited about with all the announcements? I'm gonna just go ahead because I've just
Incredibles
always
3.
grown up with Toy Story. I mean, that's probably 2 for me. Toy Story 5, just because I've loved Toy Story, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna do because they obviously gotta have a. Because they said that they would only keep doing them as if they had a good enough story. Because they were going to just let them live in the shorts.
now
for-
they're
Are they
Now
bringing?
they're
Are they
Cobra
bringing
Kai?
Tom Hanks and
As far as I know, everybody's
Him back?
returning.
Everybody's
yes.
returning?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Even though
except
Tom Hanks is
for Don Rickles?
on the list.
He was. I love that guy to death. So he's going to be sorely missed.
Yeah.
Did you know Tom Hanks is on the Epstein list?
Who? Oh,
we're
yeah,
not
he's on the
talking
Epstein
about.
list.
We're not talking about that kind of
I'm
stuff.
just saying, man.
I know.
I can love the movie without supporting the man and his actions and what they do. But anyway, as we close this out, what's your guys' most excited? I think she might have a Frozen.
Zootopia, Frozen,
There
and
you go.
Stitch.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are my
What
favorites.
about you guys?
Incredibles 3, The Mandalorian film. Yeah, probably go with that.
Lilo and Stitch, Mufasa, and Lilo and Stitch, Mufasa, and what was the other one? You just mentioned it.
Frozen,
No,
Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Zootopia. You over there holding your little stick, man. You look like the Calvarine over there.
No,
And depending
no,
on how
no.
they do it, there's Snow White too. Just depending on how they do it.
You
I
have to put the
don't-
trailers
I don't-
out. You have to watch it.
I'm
It's
not a
out
big
now.
Snow White
I
fan.
don't. I
anyways.
don't tank anything until I see it for myself.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
critics, I mean, you half the time on Rotten Tomatoes, my opinion is so opposite, and
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes will rate something really low, and the audience will rate it really high.
See,
Yeah.
Plus, you got to think
Vice
some of the critics
But
out
see,
there probably aren't very creative
the-
and know a good story if it bit them in the ass. You know
Right.
what I
it's
mean?
true.
So,
the critics are trying to be like Siskel and Ebert. They just can't do it. They're not getting
No.
2 thumbs up.
right. That's right. That's right.
Well, I think they see so many movies they get jaded, and so
Yeah.
it has to be something completely out of the realm, for them to actually take interest. Because most of the time they've seen all the movies, they've seen everything before, so they're probably sitting there like this. thinking, okay, this movie's crap, but they don't give it a chance because they're burned out. I think a lot of these critics are just burned out. They've seen so many movies that they wouldn't know the difference between a good and bad movie if it came up and bit them.
Yep. Plus, sometimes people, when they go in and they already have their mind made up, that also will make a difference.
Yeah.
Like if you go in thinking or knowing, oh, this is going to be bad, but I got to see it,
Right.
then it might end up being bad. Or if you go in with too high expectations, you might underwhelm yourself a little bit because it might not be as good as you was expecting. So it's really all about just kind of just going in, wanting to have fun, experience it.
And that's
enjoy
why
it.
with Borderlands, I'd never had any expectations at all because I didn't know anything, and I didn't look at Rotten Tomatoes until after I'd seen the movie.
And then you're just
and
like,
I was
what?
shocked. It's like, what?
So 22 years ago, my brother got married. And a couple weeks before the wedding, we had to go pick up the wedding rings and tuxes and all that nonsense. So we go to the mall to go eat and, get the ring and stuff. We got asked if we wanted to see a film before its release. We were part of a test group.
Ooh.
My brother got to see The Core with like George Clooney in it, I think. I saw Kangaroo Jack.
Yes.
And the critics had said, this is stupid. It's, it's not very fun. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with them? I'm like, dude, this movie's funny as hell.
What movie was that?
Kangaroo Jack.
I said, hey,
Kangaroo Jack.
hippie to
I
the
never
hip
saw it.
hip stop the drop.
So Anthony,
That's cute.
Anthony Anderson, they
and
come
Jerry
across
O'Connell.
a talking kangaroo.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
they
good.
hallucinate a talking
Yeah.
kangaroo.
Yeah.
But the basically they have the money that they owe some people, and they put the jacket on the kangaroo that had the money on it, and they were taking pictures with him because they thought he was dead, and then he wakes up and runs off with the jacket and the money. So
And
it's
then-
interesting.
and
That's
That's
fun.
funny.
And there's one scene where a kangaroo kicks him and they get knocked out, and they come to and he goes, hello, mate. And then hops on.
It's fun. It really is fun.
So,
And I still like it to this day.
yeah,
I
so,
do.
I didn't take what critics said because I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm 15, I think, at the time.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, this is funny as could be, I'm like, they're wrong. Like, that's when I started not taking critics. The only critics I ever listened to anyway are the two old men from the Muppets. Because them old bastards have been around since the beginning of time. They know what they're talking about.
Right. All right, I'm getting tired.
And they never change.
No.
All right. So with Bill, our guest on here, any final thoughts for what we talked about, or for the audience? Any one-liners? Anything you got to say before we
Hit us, Bill.
wrap this bad boy out?
Okay. The proposal.
And there you have it.
If you haven't seen it, watch it.
It's
Apparently,
good. It's fun.
Bill's a very big endorser of it. It's
Yeah,
getting.
I liked it.
It
Sandra
gets two
Sandra
thumbs up.
Bullock, you just can't go wrong with Sandra Bullock.
I
She's
love-
so
I
good.
love
She is
Sandra
so
Bullock,
wonderful. I've loved her in everything.
Yeah,
I've
her
seen
and Ryan Reynolds have such a great chemistry in
They
this
had
movie.
a great chemistry. They played off of each other so much.
It's another quick thing going back to the critics thing is, and Sandra Bullock is like something like The Lake House with Keanu Reeves. I
love
really
it.
loved it, but that was a movie that wasn't well received with
Yeah,
some of the
I
critics
loved
stuff. And it was a good movie.
Fun fact about that movie: they both had a crush on each other and didn't know and never pursued it.
But do you know why?
crazy.
Because he's been married to Winona Ryder since 1990.
They're not married.
Tell him that. He says because of Dracula, they had a real Romanian Catholic priest do the wedding scene. So he swears up and down they're married. I'm like,
They didn't.
A
file
friend
paperwork.
of
He's
mine
probably
spent the
just being
entire
funny.
day with Keanu Reeves. She's I've been going out to eat with her quite a bit. And do you know The Man in the High Tower, the TV series Man in the High Tower? There's a guy, he's an Asian guy, it's Carrie something, I don't know, that's what you call him, Carrie. But he was also the Asian ape.
TJ, will you quit?
He was also the Asian ape in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. I don't know if you remember that, the silverback. But anyway, she was dating him, and he did a film with Keanu Reeves, or like a sword type thing, like a
Was
Japanese
it 47 Ronin?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Or the
think
last
that was it.
Ronin or one?
Yeah, it
I
was
think
like
that's
something like
47
that.
Ronin.
And Keanu Reeves was in it.
Mm.
And so she went up there on set of them filming that day with this Carrie that she was dating, and with Keanu Reeves. Said Keanu Reeves was the most down to earth, nicest guy you ever wanted to meet.
I've
Said
heard
his
that.
personality was a lot like on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. He was just really laid back, like, whoa,
He's-
dude.
there's video
He said he
images
was
on
really like that.
There's
Yeah.
video of Keanu on like the subway giving up a seat to like
There's
a
the
She
girl.
said he was something else. Said he
That
was
does
just
not surprise me
amazing.
at all.
The
She
man that
really
he's
liked him.
referring to is Shang Tsung.
Nuh-uh.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's Carrie.
You know him?
No, his
No,
friend
the
dated him.
girl
Oh,
I'm
dude.
growing up with. I'm helping her.
Cool, dude.
Something, but she,
Oh,
he
shit.
actually called her. Me and her were out eating one day, and
Bring
he
him
called
on
her on
the
the phone
podcast.
while we were
Oh, wow.
while we were eating. He called and spoke to her.
Bring him on the
That's
podcast
crazy.
and talk
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
baby.
He,
Mortal
I
Kombat.
love Mortal Kombat too.
Let's probably stop you right there
Yeah,
and call it a night
I'm
before,
tired.
before
Before I
you
kill you.
go on another rant there.
Yeah, let's
So,
end it. I'm tired.
Don't lift the mic. Don't lift-
That is not an ice cream cone. Licorice or otherwise.
boom.
Anyway,
10
that's been
minutes
another
over.
episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Don't forget to just be you, be yourself, and have a
I'm
wonderful
being
night. Thanks for
myself, damn
listening,
it.
guys. See you in
Ciao.
the next one.
Bye.
Ciao.
Get down there. Yeah, all right.
I'm crazy peoples.
You got it going on. After dark.
Woo.